What research studies would you tell us about that were the most important?
Yes, actually. Since I came back from the United States in the mid of 1991, I started conducting research with earthquake seismology. And as you know that, dealing with earthquakes is different from any other subject. Why? Because earthquakes is an international phenomenon, regional. If something happened, if an earthquake, give an example, if an earthquake happened in Jordan, so everybody can hear about it in Saudi Arabia, in Egypt, all other countries around. They will hear about it. If need any help, so all other countries, they go ahead and try to make the aid and the help, like something like that. So the earthquake in general is a regional case. So when I came back, I found it's very difficult, it's very important to collaborate with agencies in Saudi Arabia, either locally or in the Middle East. So first of all, in October 1992, and Egypt suffered a major earthquake, and 100 people around had killed, something like that. A big damage building around. So the UNESCO said it's very important and urgent to establish or make an organization to try to mitigate, to try to reduce the effect of earthquakes. So we went to Egypt after the earthquakes from all the countries around, all the countries around the kingdom. Egypt, Jordan, United States, Cyprus, Turkey, and all other countries nearby. And as well as UNESCO representative. And they said, okay, now you have to make an organization, and we start to make organization called Eastern Seismic, make a big program. It's called Eastern Mediterranean Seismic Hazard Assessment Program. The big program. All the countries around the Gulf of Aqaba should gather at least 1 or 2 a year in each country, from Turkey, from Greece, from Cyprus, to upgrading, to make data exchange, to see the situation, what can we do, and make up a new maps, new hazard, new seismic map. Okay, so the UNESCO, under the umbrella of UNESCO, we are almost 1 or 2 a year, we are gathering together, and for many years still, until now, no problem. This is one issue of the conducting project and collaborating with other countries. In the meanwhile, the most important, when I came here, I didn't find any studies related to the seismic tectonic and seismic hazard assessment in Saudi Arabia in general. And the Arabian Peninsula, almost 2 million area square. So I emphasize, concentrate at this point, make seismic hazard for the kingdom, crustal structure study. So I make a lot of projects in this field, from the Red Sea, the Gulf of Aqaba, Gulf of Suez area, where we are, Arabian Peninsula in general, the Arabian Gulf. So I covered all the whole area, making different crustal structure studies, called crustal structure study. It means detailed studies for the original of the seismicity in the whole kingdom.
So, Professor, you were involved in producing the first seismic map for Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Yes, I did. Actually, we start after a completely crustal structure study for the whole kingdom. We produced several seismic map for the whole kingdom. The next step actually is we have to divide. You have to divide the whole country where the most seismically active areas. Is the whole kingdom active? Is the Riyadh similar to Hakal? Is the Riyadh similar to Jazan and Abha? Seismic level? Of course not. Of course not. So the critical factor here is how to divide. How to divide the whole kingdom now. And this is what the major point. So from the good historical background of the seismicity which I have, as well as, you know, good record of geophysical data, heat flow, gravity, magnetic, geological information. I gathered all data together and I came up with seismic zones of the Arabian Peninsula. And this one, from this one, I got the innovation prize. It's called, okay, invention prize for this subject. It's called Al-Marai Scientific Invention from this subject, and I have it in my lab complete. I get the prize for it. It's called Scientific Invention Prize for, okay, seismic zones of Saudi Arabia.
And you were awarded this prize by whom?
By Al-Marai. Al-Marai, a big, you know, agriculture company here, and so one of the biggest agriculture company. They are making this, you know, once a year, and because this subject very applicable and very concerned to many organizations, Saudi Arabia, governmental and private sectors. So they said, okay, really, we need this result. So the referee said this is one of the best among a lot of research, and they selected this one the best. So I got this prize for, it's called invention, scientific invention prize, called division or something like that, called seismic zones of Saudi Arabia, of Arabian Peninsula in general. So that's what I have. So I can explain a little bit of this one later on. I have it in my lab, you know, a big map. I produce a very big map, everything I have it.
Professor, we talked earlier before the program, and you told me that you were involved in some sort of international project.
So,
what about that?
Actually, I realized the importance of conducting research with international society. You cannot live alone by yourself here, so you have to tell everybody away, Saudi Arabia, what are you doing here? So in 1996, we started an international cooperation with University of California, San Diego, making a good project here in the Arabian Shield, cluster structure study, seismotectonic, seismic experiment. We did a good seismic array, a good seismic station, one of the most important seismic stations called Global Seismographic Station Network, one of the quietest, one of the best station in the world. We put it somewhere here in the western part of Riyadh. It's called Arrayn Station. This is collaborated project with the University of California, San Diego. Very quiet and very good. And this station very helpful to a student, because this station, by the way, different from other stations. The station had the ability to pick all signals, not just earthquake signal, any explosions, any other signals, nuclears, chemical explosion, versus because the station is deep, almost 100-meter depth under the ground. So very sensitive and very quiet. So this is what's important. So you can use this one issue of the project. Second, the project also was conducted with the University of California as well, San Diego. We make seismic profile section from Riyadh to Jazan. We make a civil station there. And the other profile, we make it from Bisha up to Medina Munawwara profile with a very high quality, very broadband station. And the data from this station actually very good actually, and very precise information we collected. We came up from this station with almost 10 publications, well-known scientific publication together with the American groups. Okay, this is the second project. The third project also we conducted recently with Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory at the University of California, Berkeley. This is a research project, and this project is the state-of-art project, not in the kingdom, all over the world. We use called receiver function techniques. We use waveform modeling. We use shear wave splitting techniques. We use surface wave group velocity technique. These techniques are the state-of-art technology in all over the world. We applied all these techniques in collaboration with the Livermore. It's called LLNL, and we published almost 6-7 papers in this field.
Professor,
yes.
We want to know more about your scientific papers, but first let me ask you about your Golden Distinguished Evaluator
yes.
Award that you got from the King Abdulaziz City for Science and Technology.
Okay. This actually a yearly award from King Abdulaziz City for Science and Technology to those people who are evaluated the research, because they received proposals from all over the world, and they send it to a researcher, send it to a professor to evaluate their proposals, and they classified their prize or their award to 3 levels. It's called golden level and silver level, and the other level I don't know what they call it.
Bronze level?
Maybe bronze level, yeah, bronze, yeah, sorry. So the highest one and the best one called Golden Researcher, Golden Distinguished Evaluators. So I got this one from them. So really, that's one of the